Hello, Squadron. This is Lieutenant Commander Mr. Everything coming at you with another State of the Unit address. This one is the State of the Unit, June 2016. If you haven't been to a State of the Unit address before, it's a video newsletter that I put out once a month to let our squadron know, our community know, what's going on with the various games, membership, training, any events, activities, any promotions, anything like that. That's basically our newsletter. I've got a few things that I want to put out, so let's go ahead and start. The first thing we're going to talk about is membership. Okay, membership is important. You have to have members to run the squadron. You need membership to play the game in teams, to compete in the competitions. You just have to have members, right? You have to have friends, and the whole reason why you have a squadron is so that you can have team play, right? That's the only reason why you would join a squadron. What do? Well, we have two ways that I track membership. I track membership either inside the game, like who signed up for our squadron in whatever game it is, and who has signed up for our squadron on the website, okay, our community website. There is always some discrepancy between the game and the website, and each month I fight to find out who that discrepancy is, and usually, just letting you know, if you sign up for one and not the other, I give you about a month. I know that's an extremely long time. It should only take minutes, but I give you a month to sign up for one or the other, or both. What am I trying to say? I give you a month to sign up for both, and if you don't sign up for both within that month, then I just remove you from the squadron. So just letting you know, if you're that person that's only signed up in the game or only signed up on the website and hasn't done it on both, then expect to be removed soon. Because every month I do an audit basically of our membership, and then I correct any discrepancies. Is there big discrepancies? Not usually. It's usually just one or two outliers. Right now we have 9 in Star Citizen. We have 9 in game and 8 on the website. In War Thunder we have a lot more. We have 31 in the game and 29 on the website. Why is there a lot more, 3 times as many on War Thunder than there is in Star Citizen? I think it's because War Thunder is an active game. People are still playing it. There is daily events. You log in, you play. Everybody plays every day. Some of us don't. We've got about 10 members that probably play only once a month, and I don't know about those guys. Okay, but the rest of us are playing like every day. We're getting our activities up in the thousands. That's great. But in Star Citizen, you don't get that because there's not a whole lot of content. So people aren't playing it over and over and over, and they're not looking for squadrons because the community is not as big as it will be once it goes to beta or open sales, you know. So once that happens, then I'll see our membership spike probably. As long as we're getting good members right now, active members, people that are excited about Star Citizen, then that's fine. Later we'll deal with getting more membership. All right, so how do we help that? Well, we recruit on the website. I'm talking about the game's website, like War Thunder or Star Citizen. We'll recruit on those websites using their forum. Both of them have recruiting threads in those forums, and we have a post in both of those threads. So all we need you to do is visit those threads as often as possible, making a post. What that does is that puts our post at the top of the thread chain so that if any new player is looking for a squadron, they'll see ours at the top. So periodically go into those threads and bump us to the top. All right, then we have videos. If any of you are making videos for War Thunder or Star Citizen, please be sure to include somewhere in the notes or on the screen that you're in a squadron and what squadron it is and the fact that we're recruiting. Okay, so do that. That'll help us out a lot. And then also word of mouth, of course. So if you talk to somebody, you know, at work about War Thunder and they're going to join, let them know about the squadron. And also in game, we recruit in game. This is honestly, this is where we get the most applicants. I'm going to say probably about 75% of our applicants, maybe even higher than that, come from conversations that took place in the game. So you can start that conversation by putting a small post at the start of a match. You can also, in the chat, there is a thing there for like a global chat. You can put in a squadron recruiting post in the global chat. So we've recruited a couple of people through the global chat. We've recruited 9 out of 10 people through in-game, in the match chat. And then we recruited probably about 25% people actually visiting our website thread. So we just need to keep up on all of those, and we'll get more membership. All right, and that's another thing in Star Citizen. We're not really posting in matches or in because it's kind of an open world thing. So we haven't really been posting that. So that's another thing. If we get 75% of our members from War Thunder from posting in matches, we're shooting ourselves in the foot in Star Citizen because we don't have matches. So we just need to learn or develop a in fiction immersive way to recruit without being considered spam. And anyway, just letting you know, concept or definition of spam is when you're trying to sell something inside the game. Like if I've got gold and I'm trying to sell it, and I send an email out to 20 different people in game, that's spam. If I jump on the chat and I say the same thing over and over and over, like, hey, does anybody want to join the squadron? And then 5 seconds later, hey, does anybody want to join the squadron? And then 5 seconds later, hey, does anybody want to join the squadron? That is considered spam. Not a one-time post in the beginning of the match. A one-time post, hey, we got a 1st Naval Air Squadron, it's recruiting. If you're interested, go to our website, 1nas.engine.com, and check us out. And then you leave it. Don't say anything else. That's not spam. I've talked to both Gaijin, I've talked to both RSI. They both have said if it promotes an in-game community, they're all for it. Not, hey, we're going to stop you from posting. No, they encourage it. So do it. Okay? Just don't be an ass about it. Don't like do it all like in the middle of the dogfight, because that's a bad thing. Do it at the beginning, or even do it at the end. But the reason why you wouldn't want to do it at the end is a lot of people have been shut down and they've already logged out, and you're only hitting like 2 or 3 people. So do it at the very beginning, because the people that need squadrons are the ones that probably don't have the skill yet, or they haven't already joined a squadron already. So do it at the beginning. All right, that's membership. Now we go to training. This is a hot topic for me. If you've read the forum post that I posted for the State of the Unit address, I did that really for myself, to remind myself of what I wanted to talk about. But this is a hot topic for me. Okay, training in our squadron. Let's how do I want to say this? Let's say this. I'm disgusted with our training, and I'm going to be bold and blunt and say I'm disappointed. I have spent the last 3 to 4 months trying to put out a training program where I can teach members of our squadron in tactics that I want them to perform while we're in matches. Okay? And then later on, while we're in squadron battles. And I've posted these training opportunities, these training schedules. I've done them at different hours. I've done them real late at night. I've done them real early in the day. I've done them on different days of the week. And I'm not getting anybody to show up at training. Basically, nobody gives a shit. Okay? Nobody cares about training. Except me, apparently. Early on, like at the very beginning of the squadron, I would have 3 or 4 people show up at a training session. We would get training done. We'd move on to the next training the next month. We'd do 3 or 4. People would show up. And then that's unfortunate. That's sad. I really do appreciate those 3 or 4 that did show up. Don't get me wrong. I think you guys were very excited about training. You wanted to learn. You wanted to develop your skills. But 3 out of 30 or 4 out of 30 people is pretty pathetic, guys. It really is. Okay, so I've done this for 3 months now, and I've scheduled probably 4 sessions a month. And some of these were just labeled as not really training, but just, hey, just join me and we'll go on some missions. That's how the majority of them were. Because I was trying to be less formal. Okay, I had some formal trainings, but then I had some opportunities where I said, like, hey, fly with your squadron leader and come, let's just blow some stuff up. A few people would show up for that. We would team up and stuff like that. We would fly, and I didn't want it to be a formal training, but I would make subtle hints like, hey, this is how you should do it, or this is the way it should be done. A few times we would get people to listen, but lately I've noticed that there are people that are lone wolfing it. They don't understand when I say, hey, let's get in a spread formation, and they're still in the victory V, they're finger 4, or they're in the trail formation, and I don't want that. I said I wanted you to be in spread formation. Okay, so I'm just saying, what I'm trying to say is, it's been frustrating for me to request a certain type of tactic or a strategy in a match, and nobody knows what I'm talking about. Because, guess what? They didn't attend training. They never attended training. So what I've decided to do, and you can fault me for this if you'd like, I'm just telling you straight up, I'm not going to do any training. Let that soak in for a second. There's not going to be any training from me. Fuck it. Right? If you're not going to show up, I'm not going to schedule it. If you want to do training, let me know and we'll do like a private session. But I'm not going to schedule any training. I'm upset with that. I mean, it's pissed me off. I'm beyond pissed off. You don't even know. You just don't even know. I'll get into a match. Somebody will fly on my wing, which is fine, which so far so good. I will dive in for an attack because I've got the altitude advantage and I'm diving in on a bomber or whatever, and that person doesn't follow me. He continues to stay high. I don't think I needed to tell him, hey, you need to follow me, because for some reason I just assumed you would know this. That's my fault. But it's come to my, like, I've done a lot of thought about this last night. It's mainly because nobody shows up to training. They don't know that when I dive, I want them to be on my tail. There is like 3 or 4 people in the squadron that I prefer to fly with. And I will fly with them whenever they want me to fly with them. Why? Because I know that they know what to do. But I get frustrated when I'm with a guy that's been in the squadron for 2 or 3 months and he doesn't know what to do. So I have to tell him, hey, this is what I want you to do. But it's after the fact. It's like, I've already been shot down because you didn't support me. Or you flew off and got yourself shot down because you wanted to go lone wolf or something. Not that you did it maliciously, don't get me wrong. You're not at fault because you're trying to fuck with Mr. Everything. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you just don't know. And what did G.I. Joe say? Knowing is half the battle. Once you know what to do, I shouldn't have to say, okay, guys, I need you in a spread formation. You should automatically assume that. And I shouldn't say to you guys, hey, I'm attacking this bomber, and nobody follow me. Everybody should know that they're supposed to follow me. Or attack in a certain way based on our methods. Because we have some thatch weave method that works. We have some meat grinder method for bombers. There is a specific method for each type of attack we do. When we're attacking a base, there's a specific method for that. And I'm sorry guys, I'm getting a little heated right now because this is a really important topic for me. We get, we don't have any training going on. So training suspended. I don't care. I'm not going to do this training anymore. Okay. I will do training on a one-to-one basis if you ask. If you don't ask, no training. If you do ask, you're going to have to ask in advance. Don't just come to me and say, hey, Mr. Everything, can I get some training right this second? No, because I am not ready for that. I logged in because I feel like I want to blow up a couple of tanks and then log out. You know, I feel like I want to fly with a team. So ask me, like, if you've got time, say, hey, Mr. Everything, when's the next time we can do some training? That's a good question. And then I say, hey, how about tomorrow night at 8 o'clock? How about that? And if you say yes, then we go. If not, we come to some kind of agreement until we get a time that we're going to do training. And then I will post it on the calendar. And if someone else wants to attend, you certainly can. And that's another reason why I would post it on the calendar and I would also choose not to do it the very same day, is because other people might want to join the training. Doubt it. Nobody wants training. End of that subject. Okay, that's 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 the end of that subject. Now, we're going to the second half of that training issue. It's something that I've been like milling over in my head. Okay, and because this subject's been so hot and bothered, I've been hot and bothered about this subject. I want you to reach inside yourself and answer this question. Why did I join a squadron? Okay? Why did you join a squadron? Not A, because somebody asked me, or A, I saw some squadron guys and they said they were recruiting. That's not it. That's how you join, not why. Why did you join? Why are you here? What do you expect from being inside of a squadron? These are questions I want you to ask yourself. Think about it. Do you just want to be part of a group that plays all the time and they don't expect you to follow any set of rules? And you just want to team up when it's convenient for you? Have no responsibilities? That's what I think most of you are going to answer. You're just a casual player. You log in like once a month and you don't want to have the hassle of having to attend any training. You just want to team up with some people, fly a mission, shoot some stuff down or get shot down, and have no training responsibility. That's what I think everybody's going to say. Or maybe you might want to be in a group of players who work well with each other. And they maybe can teach you a lesson or two about how to win. You find it to be more fun to be on a team instead of flying solo. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And then another one, you're expecting hardcore players who train every day and take winning matches as like the main focus. They don't care how they win, they just have to win. And they expect you to be on every time that they're on. And you know, if you don't have purple gear, you get kicked out of the guild. That kind of stuff. You want them to provide you guidance on which planes are to use based on how powerful they are and not what theme or history we're trying to go with. If that's what you're looking for, that's fine. Just think about it yourself. Like, why did I join a squadron? These are just examples of different people that might have different outlooks of why you joined a squadron. Let me tell you, if you don't line up with this expectation, I have expectations for the squadron, right? And I'm going to provide them to you, and I want you to let you know what they are. If this is not what you expect out of a squadron or expect to give to a squadron, then I'm going to say this, and it's going to be blunt. I want you to resign and leave. But if this fits into what you're wanting out of a squadron, perfect, because our philosophies are on the same level. And then I want you to stay, because if this is your expectation of a squadron, then you'll be an asset to our squadron. It's simple. I got some simple rules, and they're not rules, they're expectations. I want you to log into TeamSpeak when you want to team up. Okay? So I don't mind if you play play with your friends, play, I don't care. But if you want to play with our squadron, as a unit, log into TeamSpeak, okay? Because I know there's some days when I've only got a couple of hours. I don't want to team up. I want to grind like some matches. So I will jump in and I will play a few matches and then I'll go to work or I'll go to bed or whatever. And I'll only log into TeamSpeak when I'm excited about maybe teaming up with some other players in our unit. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to log into TeamSpeak when you want to team up. Is that hard? No, that's not hard. When teaming with the squadron, like when you're teaming up with the squadron, I want you to use our squadron method and tactics. I expect you to be doing what our squadron does. That's why you're playing with us. It's so that you can be in a team and in a unit, and we're going to expect you to perform certain maneuvers, certain tactics. I want you to attend training to learn said tactics and methods 1 to 2 times a month. I don't want, now, these training sessions, for that handful of people that have been to these training sessions, will tell you they're super simple. They only take like 30 minutes, and then we just go out and play a little bit, right? And there's no test at the end. It's not like, yeah, I don't know why people wouldn't attend training. I want you to attend training, but right now training's suspended because I'm frustrated. But I want you to attend training for the methods and tactics 1 or 2 times a month. When you're teaming with our squadron, I want you to use those methods and tactics. If you want to team, I want you to log into TeamSpeak. Simple. Super simple. That's just my expectations. Now, there's a few additional things, some bonus things. Yeah, I want you to recruit. I want you to be a good guy. I want you to share your knowledge with everyone else in the squadron. I want you to have the right type of planes. I want you to do all that stuff, right? I want you to get better, but that's not a requirement for you to get better. I don't care if you're the worst pilot in the world. If you're trying to get better, that's what I'm asking. People that don't attend training, that tells me you're not trying to get better. Or you don't give a shit. It's one or the other. All right, so I'm done with that topic. Now, I know this was our June State of the Unit. I know it was kind of a wake-up call for some people. Some people it's probably not. I just want you to know where I'm standing. I'm frustrated with our training. Let me end with this. I played the other night. Okay, we had a new member with us, brand new, doesn't know what's going on. Okay, that's fine. He's brand new to the squadron, so I understood that. I'm trying to remember who was with us, but we had Parasite with us, we had Legendary Spider with us, and we had myself with us, right? Of course we had myself with us, because, hey, being stupid, right? Okay, so me, Parasite, Legendary Spider, we knew what to do. We were flying together, we were working as a unit. I was thoroughly enjoying that match. All those matches we played. I played a couple hours. And I had to force myself to log out because I had to go to bed for work. I really like playing with certain players. The new guy, okay, he messed up a few times. He didn't do exactly what we asked him to do. That's because he hasn't had a chance to go to any training. And I don't blame him for that. In the back of my mind, it's what sparked this whole conversation. I had a super good time, but every time that he did something wrong, or I'm not going to say wrong, but not the way I expected him to do it, then it was like a light bulb going off. It was like, man. And then, wait, he's not the only one. There's a lot of guys that do this, and a lot of guys don't know what's going on. And then, why is that? And I had to think about it. I was like, oh yeah, I had training for like 3 months and had nobody attend. Yeah, and then, and so that's what really sparked all this. But I do have a great time flying with everybody in the squadron. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy it. But when I go into a match and I die when it could have been avoided based on a strategy that our squadron has that's not being performed, then I was like, well, you know what? In my mind, I'm saying, you know what? If we were doing our strategy, I would have lived in that case. And that wears on me. I'm going to be honest, it wears on me. Okay, so thanks for coming out and checking out this video. I know it was kind of a wake-up call for some people. Oh, I wanted to say something. I've noticed that in War Thunder, it's been keeping a lot of my recordings. In the past, I think it would only keep a total of 10. But right now, I got like 3 pages worth of recordings, and I don't understand how that is, but that's cool. I really like that. I think it should stay there until I delete them. Not the game shouldn't automatically delete them, or maybe it should be actually I think it's only a month's worth, but 1 month of playing that should be recorded. I think that's good. And then oh, in Star Citizen, I don't know if you've been watching my PTU videos on that, but I noticed they've added a voice to the pirates. The AI pirates now will talk smack at you. I think that's super cool. I mean, that was really getting me excited when the first time the pirate told me that I was uh, gonna die. I was like, whoa, what? He's threatening me. I thought that was cool. All right, so the next couple of nights I'm going to be on War Thunder Star Citizen. I am off these next 2 days, so please join me if you want. And if you want to talk to me about this video or anything, that's fine. Otherwise, oh yes, one last thing. Sorry. Okay, last month I initiated a program, a start, where I could, had a spreadsheet, and I was tracking your best planes and your best tanks so that I could see who was ready for squadron battles, right? We have 30 something people in squadron. I think I got like 10 replies. Okay. What I'm going to do starting next day or two, I'm going to open that spreadsheet up to everyone in the squadron. I don't even know if I can do that, but I'm going to open it up so that everyone can modify their planes, their tanks, as they develop them. So you can go and, like, if you unlock a new tank or a new plane, you can go to the spreadsheet. You can update it on your own. Okay, I'm going to make it pretty. I'm going to have to modify the spreadsheet a little bit to make it like super self-explanatory. But right now it might be a little convoluted. But I noticed it was taking a lot of time for me to update that spreadsheet every day. I think Mickey, offered to help me work with that, and I appreciate all that. So that's good. But I think what we can do is I can just open it up for everybody to modify their own numbers. It would be so much easier that way. And I've noticed that our squadron's not ready for squadron battles. Just looking at what people's planes are and what their tanks are, we're not ready. We've got maybe 5 or 6 people that are ready, and we need 8. Now I noticed in some of the events lately, you could fly with 5 to 7. You know, you didn't have to have a full 8. That was interesting. I don't know why they've changed the numbers to that, but that's good. That helps us as a squadron out. So, yeah. All right, so recap. Recruit. Why are you here? No more training. Suspended. It'll come back at some point when the squadron starts carrying again. And are we even here for squadron battles? Speaking of which. Okay. Feel free to let me know. And I'll see you probably in your hangar.